Welcome back to my channel, you guys. It's me, it's CMZ News, aka Candace, here to give another recap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 16. So this week has been another drama-filled week in the world of Beverly Hills outside of the show. You have, after last week's terrible drama with the cyber attacks on Garcelle's son, you have Diana hiring security because she says that she is receiving death threats, which I believe because there's a lot of unhinged people out there. You have Lisa Rinna taking everything housewife related off of her Instagram. You have Rinna also being exposed by that Patrick Summers person as reaching out to him. He claims he has receipts. She's also reached out to another online site saying that the whole bot situation reeks of LVP and Kathy Hilton trying to shift the blame. It's like, seriously, you're gonna blame Lisa Vanderpump for bots? She's not even on the show. Like, they are so pressed about her. Like, it's sad. It's really ridiculous. So that got leaked. I think that was on Face Reality. That got leaked, that conversation. So it's been a lot going on, you guys, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here to talk about the episode. That was a very infuriating episode. So let's get to it. But before we do that, please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. I have 22 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 25, and I appreciate all of you, and especially those of you who leave comments, okay? So let's get started. The show starts off with Kyle and Dorit driving. They went out the night before to Rinna's party to the Polo Lounge, so they're kind of, you know, nursing their hangovers, got a little hair of the dog. Well, actually, no, I think hair of dog is a drink, but they are nursing their hangovers, and they still have their wild curly hair from the 70s party. If you remember, the night before was Lisa Rinna's 70 party for Lisa Rinna Beauty. So the girls are going to a dog park or something like that, and then they start talking about Rinna. Dorit's like, you know, Rinna has these really big reactions. You know, it happened at my house. It happened, you know, at your house. And they're describing how Lisa has been acting up since Lois's death. They discuss how Sutton has been the target of Lisa's attack. And Dorit's like, you know, the thing with Sutton is she doesn't articulate herself how she should. She just, you know, she just doesn't say things. She just backs herself into this hole. And I'm like, Dorit, not everybody is long-winded like you. I don't personally think that Sutton has a problem articulating herself. I think she does articulate. I think she pauses when she talks before she says something. And I think she thinks about what she's going to say. She isn't extremely reactionary. She isn't nasty and rude like some of these women are to her. And I actually wish she would be a little quicker. She's very witty, but I wish that her tongue was a little sharper, actually, because at this point I have no patience for these women and the excuses for the way they're treating Sutton. But I digress. They continue. Dorit's basically saying, you know, she just needs support, not everyone coming at her. Oh, you think, Dorit? After which gang up did you finally realize that she actually needs this? Now you're kind of coming, when it's just you and Kyle, you're a safe person. Now you can say that you think that Sutton doesn't need to be ganged up on. How about you say that in the middle of it and not like add fuel to it? Anyway, if you can't tell, I'm mad. This episode had me really mad, and I'm glad I'm doing this sooner than later, because I am really disgusted with what's going on here in Beverly Hills. To be honest, it's been this whole last week has been like, do I even want to watch anymore? But I'm gonna finish it. Now we're over here, Garcelle and Diana, actually. Diana shows up to Garcelle's house, and she kind of stumbles in laughing, and she goes, oh, I'm wearing jumpsuit. It's front to back. And apparently her jumpsuit was backwards because she also joined Kyle and everybody else at the Polo Lounge the night before, and she got lit, and she's still drunk showing up to Garcelle's house. So it was kind of funny. And Garcelle and her go and have a seat down in Garcelle's house. She welcomes her in. She sits down. Garcelle's got champagne. She offers her some water because, you know, Diana's feeling pretty good from the night before and feeling woozy. And Diana's like, all this, basically this laughing and this back and forth, this banter that we're doing, if Sutton was here, I wouldn't be able to do this, if she was here. And Garcelle's like, why? Really? And she's like, I am just going to sit back and observe the type of person that Sutton is. We have just gotten into too many back and forths. I really just want to see how she is. Garcelle encourages her to give Sutton a chance, and Diana seemingly says that she will give Sutton a chance. Then they talk about Aspen. Garcelle's like, okay, you're ready for Aspen. You're getting your own place. Like, why are you getting your own place? And Diana's like, I'm very high maintenance. I'm not a good guest. And she mentions that when she goes anywhere, she has a team of experienced energy cleaners that come in and cleanse the space. And then we get a clip of her Maui home, I believe it is, and she's getting it cleansed and stuff. And I'm just like, wow, that must be nice to be rich, to go have the energy cleanse. I'm like, okay, I just do a little this, honey, and say a prayer if I feel a little something, and like that's it. I don't do, of course, you get a house. I did have a friend come and sage my house and stuff, but to go everywhere. But I know there's people like that. This isn't, I guess, necessarily a rich thing. I think bringing in professional sagers and energy cleansers is, but I know a lot of people are big on energy, so I can't snark too much on that. And Garcelle's also is into crystals as well. And she mentions, listen, I'm into crystals. This sounds crazy. Is this crazy? Yes. Do I want to try it? Yes. So she's like, I'm down to try having this energy cleanse that Diana does. We don't get a whole lot of their conversation. It was really a quick scene. I'm sure there's a lot of deleted scenes, and maybe they talked about a lot more. I'm sure Diana was there at least 2 hours. You go to somebody's house, a nice little stay, I would say, is 2 hours, So we zip over here to Renna, and she's going through Lois's things. And, she's pulling out some stuff in a box, and she's, oh, wow, I haven't seen this in a long time. Oh, look at this. And, just it's a really calming moment. And she pulls out a book, and it is the book based on the serial killer that attacked Lois when Lois was a teenager, which was like so heroic that Lois even survived that horrible attack on her coworker who worked with her. You just never know about people, right? And Lois survived that, thank God. And Renna's like, I can't read it. I can't read the book. She acted surprised, like she never heard there was a book. And, maybe Lois did keep that from her daughter. She didn't want her to maybe read details of what she went through, but it sounds like later in life, Lois definitely talked to her about that. She comes across a note as well that Lois wants on her headstone to go along with her husband, Lisa's dad, who passed away in 2016. And it says from her dad, it's I did it my way, and Lois's is me too. So it was a really sweet moment. Harry and Lisa embrace, and he just lets her know, hey, I'm there for you. Lisa again mentions how, her grief is coming out in rage, and she's just working through it, okay? And we're over at Kyle and Maurizio's, and they are golfing on their property. They have a little putting green. It's not little, it's a pretty decent little size to hit some golf balls. And he's giving her a hard time, telling her, no, hit it right here. Angle it like this. She's like, honey, stop. It was kind of cute. And they start talking about Aspen, and she's like, do you have everything arranged? Were you able to secure the plane? Mo's like, yeah, I got the plane, I got everything. He was able to secure another house through the agency, his real estate agency. And because Kyle and Maurizio say, their home is small. It's a 4-bedroom, 4.5-bathroom house in Aspen. Now, from the outside, it looks small. When we get in there, I do see it's kind of arranged differently, but that's like cabin homes. They're all kind of funky and arranged, like stacked, the way they situate. So I actually would have expected them to have something a little flashier. I say this as someone who could never afford a house in Aspen, but I would expect a little something more. But because I'm thinking, their house in La Quinta, I love their La Quinta house. Their Aspen house is like, I'm kind of like, oh, this is it. Like I have my nerve, right? But nevertheless, it's a nice house. They have the rental that Maurizio got for everybody is down the street. So, and they keep calling it the Aspen house. So I don't know if it's literally called that, or if it's just like, maybe if you're in Aspen, you see this house and you're like, oh, that's the house that I want to stay at. Like that is the Aspen house. I don't know. But Maurizio's also going with them because there's a lot of snow, and he's like, hey, you guys are not going to go to Aspen, and I'm not going to hit the slope. So I get that. He's an avid skier, so he wants to go and hit the snow. And then we get PK and Dorit, and Dorit is breaking down. Dorit is breaking down about, she's breaking down the sleeping arrangements. She's like, so me, Cherie, and Garcelle are staying in one house, and who else? Who am I missing? Dorit, Cherie, Sutton. How could I forget her? They're staying in the house. Kyle has also rented a chef for them, so they got the better deal, as far as I'm concerned. And then Kyle, Erica, and Brenna, and Kathy will be staying at, and Maurizio, of course, will be staying at Kyle's home that she owns. And she's like, well, everyone was vying to stay with Kyle. And I always stay with Kyle every time I travel, but I was being the good friend, happy to let everyone else stay with Kyle. I'm sorry, people are vying to stay at Kyle, because honestly, the last several trips, ladies have been like at other hotels, even at the La Quinta house. They don't stay there. So anyway, Dorit says, she's actually still dealing with the trauma of her robbery. I actually low-key forgot about that. I don't know how, because she talked about it for several episodes, no shade, but I forgot. And yeah, she's going, probably anytime she's going to be without her husband in a new place, no security, maybe she's just kind of concerned. So they talked about that. She is wanting to feel the feelings of being there, and if she has a panic attack, she wants to go through it, because she's like, this is the only way, PK, that I'm going to get through this. So it's trauma that she's going to continue to deal with. Okay, we get back to, it's kind of like split scenes they're doing. So back at Kyle and Mo's, and Kyle brings up that Garcelle and Sutton stopped following Erica on Instagram. And Kyle's like, look, I know I'm 50 years old, 51 years old, okay? I know it's ridiculous at our age to care, but when you unfollow someone on social media, that is making a statement. And obviously, like, it is. And, I'll be honest with you, I don't unfollow anybody. Like, if you do not want to follow me, you're going to have to do it. I do not care. Go ahead and unfollow me. Figure it out. Go over there and do it. I don't care to unfollow anybody. I have literally never blocked anyone. Not that I have like enemies or whatever, but I've just never done it. There's people's pages and things I see. I'm like, this is annoying. I don't want to see this anymore. But I don't want to follow anyone. But I know habitual unfollowers and blockers, and they stop talking to someone, they block them. And it means something. It is a statement, and obviously probably at any age it means something. So Kyle seemed really giddy about it. I can't believe they unfollowed her. Really, Kyle? We'll get to that, because she really want to act like, why would you do that? Oh, okay. Crystal, we're at Crystal's house. Fun, quick scene with Crystal packing, and we get Lucy, her housekeeper, who is like amazing, funny, steals the scene every time she comes in. It's just sassy, does not care. Lucy's like, why you got me bring 2 suitcases? And Crystal's like, because I have a lot of clothes. Lucy's like, you have too much clothes. And Crystal's like, yeah, so I'm excited. I hope everything goes well. And Lucy's like, you hope everything goes well. She's like kind of mocking her. Crystal's like, what? She goes, you love the drama. I thought it was funny. I'm like, oh gosh, I wish I could hire someone just like Lucy to just be at my house and make me laugh. And help me out with everything. So that was a fun scene. We get a quick scene with Sutton and Matthew, her assistant. They are also going through her clothes. She's packing her big Dolce & Gabbana jacket. She's wearing, her and Matthew are both wearing statement pieces in this episode. They're wearing Protect Black Trans Women sweaters. So I definitely peeped that, and I thought that was cool. Garcelle is on the phone with Cherie, and she's at her home. Actually, where is Garcelle? I think Garcelle's at work. She looks really well put together. Cherie is at home looking a wreck. Her house is a wreck. She's like, I don't know what to bring. This is new for Cherie, going on this girls trip with these women and on a TV show. And so I know that there's a lot of pressure on what to pack, what to bring. I know I would be a freaking wreck. I would literally need somebody to come over and do this for me. But I'm that person, y'all, who starts packing like a week before. Like, honestly, I'm going to Palm Springs next weekend. It's going to be super hot, but I'm gonna this weekend get my clothes ready, because that's just how I'm a Capricorn. It's what I have to do. So it makes me feel better that I have everything organized and together. People who pack last minute, I'm like, you are insane. You're literally a lunatic. I don't know how you do that. But they start talking about the night before and how she's like, look, I was hot. Garcelle is like, I am heated with Erica. She's like, I don't want nothing to do with her. I'm done with her. If she was on fire, I won't throw water on her. She's like, you gotta at least spit on her. She's like, I'm done with her. Garcelle has had it. She's mad that Erica basically called her a liar for her intentions of talking with everybody about Erica's drinking. So Garcelle said her piece. She mixed no words with that. Then we're back at Crystal's. It's the day before Aspen, okay? Garcelle now is at work. She's on the phone with Crystal. Crystal's like, hey, did you read about Erica this morning? And Garcelle's like, well, yeah, I'm going to actually have to talk about it on the Real. And Crystal's like, really? You have to talk about it? She goes, yeah, we do hot topics. I have to talk about it. She's like, sometimes I tell my producer I don't want to talk about certain things, but we're going to have to talk about it. And what they are referring to, there have been so many, articles about Erica and Tom and everything, but basically, Erica apparently has earrings that were purchased with a credit card, apparently maybe from the law firm, and they're worth $750,000. They want Erica to turn those earrings over. That's a lot of money. These victims are owed, the families of these victims, many of these victims are passed away, but not every, there's different lawsuits that are lumped into this that he took money from, allegedly. But $750,000, that could maybe, starting from the bottom, that could pay a couple settlements. Some people with a couple 100,000 settlements, 50,000. I mean, that could start paying these people for the money that they owe. And Erica, she don't want to do it. She don't want to turn them over, apparently. So we will get more on that. I'm gonna save my opinion on that till later because I think that's going to be addressed next week. But I think, Erica, as we know, she don't want to have to turn over nothing. She don't care who bought it, what money it came from. It was a gift. She's keeping it. I'm keeping it. So now we are finally on our way to Aspen, and the ladies are all on the tarmac, and they are all arriving, and they are getting on the plane, and we get a talking head of Erica. She's like, I've been to Aspen millions of times, flown on my own plane. The plane that was paid how, Erica? With whose money, girl? But nevertheless, she's been. They're on the plane, they get settled, they're getting drinks, they're cheersing, they're on their way to Aspen. And Kyle goes over the itinerary for them, lets them know, hey, we'll do dinner at my house tonight while everybody kind of adjusts to the altitude. And tomorrow we'll go skiing, and then we'll go shopping one day. And they arrive. So they arrive at Aspen, take a group shot, and they drop off Diana at her hotel, and everybody heads to their respective houses. So we get a couple little scenes now of us being at Kyle's home, and we're getting a quick little tour. She's got a river behind her, and Kyle notices that Christmas lights are still hanging up. And so she's like hastily taking the lights up, and even Erica Jane's like, hold on now, like, well hold on, Kyle, do we have to do this right now? Kyle's like, no, they should not be up, they should have took these down. Like, she's like fanatic that these Christmas lights like have to be up. Now Kyle probably never grew up in a household where Christmas lights stay up maybe half the year, or a Christmas tree is not taken down. You're embarrassed taking Christmas tree out damn February 1st, but Kyle wants those damn Christmas lights out of there. So we get a scene of the girls at the Aspen house. They are greeted by the house manager, I'm assuming. The home is beautiful. Apparently it's all custom woodwork. They have a chef, there's snacks, and it looks really nice. And then back at Kyle's, we are still getting settled in. They're looking at the rooms, and we have Kathy arriving because Kathy was coming from New York. And so she flew in separately, got dropped off at Kyle's house. And she arrives, and she's dressed like super casual. She's wearing slippers, and Kyle's like, you wore that like in the airport? Kathy's like, yeah, I wore a mask. Nobody noticed me. And so they're like, why has Kathy never been to your place before? And Kyle's like, well, this is my first time inviting her. I've only had it for 3 years. So she got in 2019. And then if you think about it, we had COVID hit. So I think it's not weird that Kathy's never been there. And she puts Kathy's ass down in the damn basement, okay, Kathy's room. How are you gonna put your older sister down there? But Kathy is in a bunk bed room with like 4 rooms, or with like 4 beds, 2 bunk beds on each side. Looks like she's got a private bathroom. Kyle tells her, this room is really quiet, and the bed is really comfortable. So Kathy, cool, yeah, I'm fine with it. Like, so freaking easygoing. I mean, this woman is filthy rich. She could buy Kyle's house and probably the Aspen house and could stay in any hotel, but she's fine with staying in this double bed, okay? And I'm thinking, there are housewives that like fight to the jugular. Like, remember when they went to Ashley's house on Potomac, and how they acted a fool over like Ashley's accommodations? Like, there is no way. But Kathy Lee Hilton was fine with it. We get a quick scene of Diana back at her hotel room getting ready, and she's literally getting dressed by people because she always has a staff arrive at the hotel first to get her ready. And then she arrives to Kyle's house, and they're cooking. It's super cold. We get scenes of Maurizio getting the grill ready, and it's like so cold, like he can't even get the grills like hot. And he's making steaks and chicken and just like really good home food. It looked really good. Potatoes. I was like, I'm a foodie, so I was looking at that. And they have some corn. There's a quick little scene. I noticed a couple things. So they're making some corn, okay? And Kathy's like, oh, can we grill the corn? Maurizio's like, I mean, you could do whatever you want to do. And she's like, kind of looking. I'm like, Maurizio, why are you giving her such an attitude? Like, if you don't put Kathy's corn on the grill, go ahead and boil the rest of the corn, because Crystal got the pot boiling and is gonna boil the corn. If you don't put Kathy Hilton's damn corn on the grill after your whole damn life is based on her husband giving you a start in real estate, if you don't put some respect on her name, but you could tell Maurizio's probably like, he's been up and down. He's been on the good list, the naughty list with Kathy. So, he probably has a very short patience for Kathy, and he deals with his wife and the drama there. So I'm going to not give him too hard of time, because if anybody probably knows Kathy, it's him. So they finish up dinner, they clean up, they're getting their little drinks, and they're all kind of gathering around to play a game, okay? And I think, who is it? Somebody brings out a Ouija board. And I loved it because Garcelle and Cherie, the black girls, is like, I ain't playing with no Ouija board. I'm like, I know that's right. Like, no, I don't play with that. Garcelle's like, look, I'm from Haiti. Like, I'm not messing with no bad juju. Like, I'm not doing that. No bad karma. But they start kind of messing around with it. And Kyle, being she's got to stir the pot. She's like, Rinna and Erica are down, and they're playing with the board, and they're kind of being the master Ouija or whatever it's called. And she's like, will we get along this weekend and work out our problems? And they move it over to no, And then they have a little fun with it. They say, oh, well, Garcelle, find a man and all this stuff. And then Kyle, being petty, again, being sneaky, she's like, telling them, ask the board, why did Garcelle unfollow Erica? And they're just like, okay, she starts laughing, right? And Erica's like, I do not care. I am 51 years old. What am I, 13? What am I, 14? She's like, I don't care if someone follows me or not. And honestly, like, I believed her. I don't think she even took it that serious. Like, she wasn't mad. She wasn't offended. She got unfollowed, whatever, okay? So Garcelle gets into it. She's like, look, I didn't like what she said. And Erica's like, well, she didn't like that I said she didn't care about me. And Garcelle goes, no, that's not what I was mad about. I didn't like that you called me a liar. And, Garcelle's like, I didn't like that you called me a liar. And Erica's like, well, you repeated this narrative to everybody. You went around and talking to everybody. And Garcelle's like, I wasn't trying to control any narrative or repeat anything. I talked to these ladies basically about the situation. I wasn't trying to make anything more of it. Erica, once again, is just like, Erica really didn't appreciate that she went around talking to everybody about it. Garcelle's like, girl, I also talked to you about it. Erica said, when? Garcelle's like, when we went and had drinks. Like, what are you talking about? I told you straight up that I have concerns with your drinking. Garcelle's like, look, calling me a liar is a stretch. I was emotional about it, so I did something about it. I unfollowed you. She goes, Erica, we don't have to be friends. And Erica was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. She's all, we can just keep it cordial. And Erica's like, it's not all kumbaya. And you know what? I feel like whenever Erica and Garcelle communicate with each other, they're never yelling at each other. I'm not quite sure if it's I don't know. I can't say it's a mutual respect thing. I don't know if that's it or if it's just Garcelle just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it's always a really calm, you know, even when last week when Erica's like, you know, you tried to pull it and then, you know, Erica doesn't get her voice raised when she talks to Garcelle. She keeps it pretty even kill, and she tells her, like, they have a really pretty good back and forth about where they stand with each other, as far as I'm concerned. And they both decide, okay, well, we're not friends. Well, Garcelle tells her, we don't have to be friends. Erica goes along with that. Erica's not about to sit up here and beg Garcelle, well, no, we can be, you know, Erica's like, all right, fine. We don't have to be friends. I know they'll be cordial. If Erica can curse out Sutton and all that and talk to her the way she does and still on the side talk to Sutton and look at her phone and kiki and laugh with her, I'm pretty sure Erica and Garcelle will probably have some more decent moments, but we'll see. I mean, the season is not over and there's a lot going on, but I liked the scene is what I'm saying. And comment down below if you kind of agree with what I'm saying. I'm not really articulating it that well. Who am I, Sutton? Can't articulate what I want to say, but yeah, so Kathy's like, look, I have 3 things. Actually, she says this before that Garcelle says we don't have to be friends, but she's like, call me a liar, call me a thief, or call me a, I won't say the word. And they all are kind of like, well, hold on. Like, no one likes to be called a thief. No one likes to be called a liar, but like absolutely nobody wants to be called that despicable word. So it was kind of funny. But Kyle starts up again and she's like, okay, you know, I understand, you know, because last year, Garcelle, you unfollowed me and Lisa, and Garcelle's like, yeah, I was hurt after the reunion. And Kyle's like, no, I get that. I understand your feelings. You explained why you unfollowed Erica, but Sutton, why did you unfollow her? And she's like, to be funny. It was just a joke. She's like, how is that a joke? How is it a joke that you're unfriending Erica? Sutton's like, I didn't even think it was that big a deal. It was just, we just were talking. It was just a joke between us. Like, okay, I'm gonna unfollow her too then. Like, just backing your best friend. Just be like, you know what? You don't like her? Shit. You know what? Let me unfollow that bitch too. That's all that was. It wasn't even that deep. Kyle is like stirring it up. Kathy in the background is like, it's not important. It's not important, Kyle. And I think kind of the other girls were just like, yeah, I mean, like, who cares? Like, Erica doesn't care. Like, it's not, it wasn't given what Kyle wanted. She wanted to get something out of Sutton. And so Kyle literally raises her voice and is like, it's not that it's not important. It's just that you're not being honest, Sutton. You're not being honest. You said you unfriended her for her making a joke. You're not being honest. Then Kyle's like, you know what? This is just when I get up. It's getting fake. This is when I walk out. Kyle, Sutton even is like, this is about Instagram? Like, it's mind-boggling. Like, Kyle wanted to have another gang up moment on Sutton for her not being honest about why she's unfollowing Erica. Does she really need to have a reason to unfollow Erica? Erica has told her to shut the f up. She has threatened her. Poor Sutton bought security to the reunion. She has repeatedly, you know, shut down her advances. She's told her to her face that she wants to be her friend. Then behind her back is not one to be her friend. She's called her a liability. Does she really need a reason? It doesn't matter if she decided last year or today or tomorrow. If she wants to unfriend this person who's been incredibly nasty towards her, who is the liability and who is like seemingly on paper the bad person, she can do that. So it didn't go the way Kyle wanted it to go. And Sutton is like, look, you know, why do you care about this? But y'all didn't care last year when the way she talked to me and when she called me a C word, a see you next Tuesday. And y'all didn't care about that. You guys didn't have anything to say about that. Then Rinna pops up. Well, why did we have to say anything about that? Oh no, Rinna, because it's okay for everybody and anyone to say anything to Sutton. They can talk to Sutton any kind of way, but God forbid we bring up that one of your little Fox 4 foes says something, and then it's an issue, right? So Sutton's like, again, you know, you called me the see you next Tuesday, and then Diana's like, because you are one. Oh Lord, Erica cackles. She's like, like, Witch cackle starts laughing so hard. The other women are like, wait, what happened? What did you say? Even Rinna looked mortified. Like, she was just quiet. Like, she had no expression. Kathy had no expression. Garcelle was like, Diana, that's not okay. That's not okay. That's not right to say. They settled down, and then Diana's like, okay, you know what? That was out of line. You know, I'm sorry. And she's like, but, you know, she starts rubbing her nose. Like, I kid you not, she literally rubbed her nose. And she's like, I just been watching the way you do things, and you're very slithery. She's slithery, Diana? Miss Lipper, like, you literally move your mouth like a snake, and you're literally gonna tell Sutton that she's slithery. Okay, Sutton is quiet. Diana gets into it. Erica's like, what do you mean? Diana starts basically screaming and talking about Sutton, and Garcelle's like, you know, calling her slithery basically is not nice. She, you know, she has feelings. Diana's like, does she have feelings? Does she have feelings? She came for me when I was bleeding. I'm on the floor. I am bleeding. You don't do that. She come to me after I went to your party. Diana's basically saying, you know what? I was on my deathbed. I got up to go to your party, and she calls it out and says, oh, I thought you were on bed rest. Confusing that you're here. Now, I have to play devil's advocate. I think Diana is out of line for the way she talked to Sutton, but she's saying, you know, you tried to shame me for getting out of bed and showing up in a time where I am bleeding, probably cramping, feeling not the most glamorous, okay? She's lost a baby at 18 weeks, very traumatic, okay? And she's like, you know, you've had 2 miscarriages. You should understand. You don't shame me like that. And that wasn't right. So from that perspective, okay, I can understand. You know, it really hurt that you showed up. It's like if you say you're broke and you, maybe not the right analogy, but you know, if you don't have money, but then you're going out to eat and someone calls you out on it, or you're well, just like she said, you're sick. You've got I'll say, okay, you have a chronic illness, you're sick, and you do normal things, and someone is like, oh, I thought you're sick. Why are you doing that? It's like, can I not live my day to day? So I think Diana has valid feeling for that comment that Sutton made. But by God, how many times does Sutton have to apologize? How many times does she have to apologize for this? I mean, either accept the apology or don't say another word to her. Stop bringing it up. Like, stop bringing it up. We are beating a dead horse with this, okay? Diana is upset. She is crying. And, you know, she's just basically berating Sutton. And Sutton is just sitting there looking so broken, so just devastated. There's nothing else she can say. These women just are piling on her any chance she gets. I mean, she pipes up to say someone called her the see you next Tuesday word, and Rinna's basically like, so what? She unfriends someone who's nasty as hell to her, and it's like, why'd you do that, Sutton? She said, hey, I've had some miscarriages, and I can relate to that, and I'm surprised to see her. You said you're on bed rest, and they are just ready to put the stake in her, and it's beyond, okay? It was a hard scene to watch, and it was frustrating. And Diana gets up to leave, and everybody runs after her. Diana, babe, Erica's like, babe, come on. Helping her gather her things, because Erica is just so motherly all of a sudden and so nurturing. She's getting Diana's things. And, Diana walks down the stairs and says her crocodile tears about Sutton. The woman can't even cry. My goodness. So then you got Snake Kyle. Speaking of slithering, slithers herself over there to try to comfort Sutton, who's crying. And I hear Sutton saying, I'm not being dramatic. I'm not being dramatic. I don't know if Kyle's ass told her she's being dramatic. But then in her damn confessional, Kyle has the nerve to say that, Diana, maybe the delivery wasn't right, but she was just being honest. And that's all she wanted from Sutton, was just honesty. Yeah, you haven't been honest about anything, Kyle. You are one of the most vile people on the show, as far as I'm concerned, because she likes to pretend like she's not got her hands in it, but she did. She started that whole mess, as far as I'm concerned. So the scene ends with, the nice, Garcelle and Kathy comforting Sutton, and then Diana leaving, and, it was just awful. It was sad to see them just once again gang up on Sutton. Twitter's not happy about it, guys. I mean, they are just really upset. I mean, I think it's just gotten so dark. It's so dark. It's like, this is not what we tuned in for to. Okay, so my phone died, but I just wanted to finish up with the video and just in short, just say everything is getting so dark. It's, you know, you want a good mix of drama and fun, maybe a couple serious scenes. You want to see the glamour, and that was the thing about Beverly Hills. But right now it's so nasty, and with all the stuff going on outside of the show, it's just intense. But I am gonna finish the season out. I'm looking forward to next week. I know we're in Aspen. We've been waiting for this to see whatever explosive Kathy Hilton stuff is. Right now, I'm feeling like it's a bunch of deflection because of the way they've all showed their ass this whole season, and including this Aspen trip. But let me know what you guys think. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in.